Donda, 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 grrrr, I got bras in Atlanta, whenever it's in the fan. Donda is Kanye West's newest album, and it consists of 27 tracks and is 1 hour and 48 minutes long. That is a whole ass movie. Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't come here to watch Infinity War, but I might as well have, because Kanye West is like Tony Stark. He's brought the freaking Avengers together. He's got so many features. They pop out of the bushes like it's guerrilla warfare, my guy. Out here with Kid Cudi, Travis Scott, Baby Keem. You know, the list doesn't end. Jay-Z, Fabio Foreign, Roddy Ricch. And this album is apparently still unfinished. There were tracks that didn't make the freaking cut. There were features that were left off. There were versions that were... Regardless, it's here now, and let's review it. This album almost feels like a label project. Revenge of the Dreamers by Dreamville project, because there are so many features. It feels like Kids See Ghost times 4. Yeah, I mean, with a lot more kids seeing ghosts. You know, for the slow ones, a lot more features. This album could have easily have gotten a deluxe. Perhaps that is what they were originally planning to do, and then it got released. But there are literally part 2s of songs on this album, and I just feel like it probably actually would have benefited from having a separate deluxe version, where you could have had like 18 to 20 tracks on this one, and then had a deluxe version where you just spill it all out. So there is a hell of a lot of good music on this project. And I'm going to get to all of the various highlights, but before I get into all of that, I'm going to address the various problems that I have. There are a few, but they are definitely lesser in quantity as opposed to the highlights and just the genuine good music on this project. Number one, obviously the length. You cannot have an album that is 27 songs and a movie length and expect it to be good from back to front. Donda does a very good job at getting close to that, but there are definite skips and a couple of tracks that definitely shouldn't have made the cut. Tell the Vision with Pop Smoke, they distorted and made his vocals so weird to the point where it sounds like he's washed out, and the verse itself sounds okay, but I don't even know what it's doing on this project, to be honest. Definitely shouldn't have made the cut. They should have just been left off, and it would have been for the better. But for the most part, there's just way too much content. It's difficult to listen to from back to front without skipping any tracks. And in general, Kanye gets lost within all of these features, within all of these tracks. He just gets a bit lost, and there aren't a lot of solo moments where Kanye is talking about his life and what he's going through. For the most part, it's just about praising God and talking about God this and God that, and that's perfectly fine. It's obviously a Christian album, but we would like to hear a bit more from him. His only real standout moments where I feel a connection to his music and to him, or through his music to him, is on the opening cut Jail, which is a really nice scene setter, as well as on Come to Life and Lord I Need You, where on all of these tracks he details his relationship with Kim Kardashian and the effect of the public divorce. It just feels like we don't get a lot of Kanye. We get a lot of features all over the place, and there's not much Kanye on this album. There's Kanye production, there's Kanye atmosphere, but it almost feels like he's a feature on a lot of these tracks because there are just so many features on his own work. And that's pretty much all of the problems I have with this album. Let's get on to the myriad of very, very good things. Even on the more slightly underwhelming cuts, the cuts that are just a little bit drawn out, a little bit too long, there are moments that I really, really like. Jay-Z's verse on Jail is super, super good. On God Breathed, the dark choir vocals in the background are really, really good. Miss Lauryn Hill's sample on Believe What I Say is really, really solid in the mix. Hey. Jay Electronica's verse on Jesus Lord is really, really good. Even on the more underwhelming cuts, there are some really good moments, and that obviously helps with the length of the project. Before I get into all of the various really good highlights, I just want to go over some very consistent and general things that I really, really loved about this album. The production from back to front is immaculate. It's excellent. It's super, super unique. It's out of this world. Very versatile. You've got drill beats. You've got gospel choirs. You've got some crazy rage type songs with Playboi Carti influence from Whole Lotta Red. The synergy between the vocal performances from everyone, which are really, really good. And the production, the way they work together is just, it's crazy. It's crazy how Kanye has done it so well. What I also really like about this album in general is that although all of the features are good, the synergy between the various artists are also really, really good. Kanye finds himself mixing really well with all of these other features. No one really sounds out of place. Okay, so last but not least, let me talk about all of the various really standout moments and highlights, the things that I really loved about this album. Starting from the top of the album down, you've got the song Off the Grid with a crazy drill beat. You've got a really nice little verse from Playboi Carti, which just adds to the madness. And then you've got Fabio Foreign, who is the standout on this track with his best verse ever, in my opinion. Best verse that I have ever heard from him. His delivery and general flow and just dominance over this beat is so, so good. It just fits perfectly. And then you've got Kanye West's verse on the back end of the track, which I wasn't expecting. It's actually quite a lengthy track. And he comes through with a lot of energy and charisma and raps really well over this drill beat to a large extent. You've got The Weeknd on Hurricane. Oh my word. What is wrong with Abel, King Abel? He's just eternal, immortal, unbeatable on this track. I say that, but in general, the choruses across this whole album are amazing. Let's jump to Moon, all the way down to Moon. Don Toliver's chorus on Moon? It's so lovely. It's so encompassing. It's like I'm drifting off in space, floating in the ocean to freaking Bikini Bottom, ascending like SpongeBob. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Jonah has one of the best choruses that I have heard this year. One of the best choruses on the album, and that's saying something, with the chorus on Hurricane, the chorus on Moon. Then you've got Okay Okay, which is another banger in the mix, and it's got a really nice little boat verse, which I wasn't expecting. Kanye during the first verse is also really, really cool, and Fabio brings some really nice ad-libs into the mix, and the beat itself is just hard. It's just really, really hard. It's really good. Hey, don't take those out of context, okay? Or do what you will. Yeah. Then you've got Junya, which I think a lot of people technically and like critically might, pick away at, but I just love it. It's just a fun time. And even though Playboi Carti has a 7-second verse, you can't deny that 4-5 songs, 4-5 songs, 4-5 songs.